All right, there we go. So thank you again, everybody, for dealing with some technical difficulties. It was difficult, it was annoying, but we made it happen. We just got a few more things to set up, and then we're going to get ready for this next match. So spoiler alert, if you didn't get to see the beginning of it, Mining Collective, well, Highland Dragons did their best to get that 4 cap lead, but they weren't able to go further than that. They Ace as well did a great brawl push, sending their mechs in and doing all the carnage damage that we love to see. So hopefully we'll get to see more of that as we go along. I'm excited to see it because Aces Wild and Highland Dragons are fantastic teams, and I know they're going to put in the effort. Looks like we're organizing the maps right now to try to get a better feel of what we can expect and what we can do. The one thing is for sure, though, is that both these teams are going to give us all the action that we ever want and desire in a championship series start match. So let me get a few more things going, and thank you again for your patience. We're excited to see it. Testing, testing. All right, all right. So I think we should be good now. Sweet. Testing again. All right, fantastic. So we just got it all working. But normally for me, I go to push to talk because sometimes that makes it easier not to harass people with your, online streaming things. But here's just Ash and myself. Now, Ash is being so kind to actually help us out with this. So again, give Ash a big shout out. Not only are one of the best casters that's out there, but they're actually helping me out, being just a great sport, which I already know they are. They said they're not going to say anything, so I don't know if it's going to crack at any moment. But like I said, I appreciate them being here. What we're going to have to do is that we're both going to be able to spectate the match. I'm assuming what we're going to do is just have it to where we kind of comment about, or I'm going to be commenting about the different maps and stuff like that, and try to see what we can do to make this an enjoyable experience for you at home. Again, we're going to go over everything from what kind of maps we're going to drop on to what mechs we're going to do, even to potentially the ban list. It's just going to be a little different. We're probably going to have to figure stuff as we go along as we try to see what maps we play on. But we'll figure it out. We'll have some fun. More importantly, we'll see some robots explode. And that's where it's at. So we already have the teams. I think we have already set on Tourmaline Desert. I think was the plan. We are, yep, Tourmaline Desert. Let's go and get that ready to go. All right. Let's see. Pick the map for them. I know what it is. You are a lobby leader. There we go. Intel is got it. There we go. Just figuring stuff as we move along. All right. All right. Well, so we got the Tourmaline Desert. If we can, I don't know if not Bob had or not Bob, if Ash actually has the map set up for him, but what I can do is I can send a link right now to the Discord. I don't know if this is going to work out, but we'll post it anyways just to see what happens. Maybe we could take a gander. All right. So we are swapping the teams, I think. There we go. Perfect. Nailed it. Oh, I can hear myself coming through the stream, so let me turn that off. There we go. There we go. Cool. We got it all figured out. That was me coming through it because we wanted to make sure we got all the technical stuff out of the way, and we did. We got there. We got there. All right. So we got Highland Dragons posting up for their team, trying to see what they want to do. We were looking at again Tourmaline Desert. It's gonna be it's gonna be very interesting to see how we get in plans. More than likely, we're just gonna be commenting on the matches themselves. So there won't be too much of like seeing the maps and knowing what we're gonna do for like the drops. We're just gonna be kind of observing the fights, trying to go work on it together. So because right now we're just communicating however slowly we can. Well, what a start to all this. Delicious. But that's again, big shout out to the MW community because this is what happens. You things start getting weird, things start happening that you don't understand. Just reach out, whether it be about a mech build or be about, hey, I don't know what I'm doing with this casting channel. Please help me. All that combined is what helps makes this community amazing. So again, be a part of it. If you're new to MWO because you got spotted this link somewhere else in the ocean that is Discord, check it out. It's free to play. It's got a lot of great events to kind of check out. And again, the championship's coming up, so you're going to see more people playing. And as I mentioned earlier, so we have a lot more people who are now playing MWO because of the unfortunate stuff that's going on around the world, where they just need something to do. They need something to kind of connect with people they haven't seen in like days or weeks. And that's what's beautiful about MechWarrior Online. It does allow communities to come together and just join and just honestly, whatever kind of like style you like, from like blowing up mechs, running a light mech, capping your way to victory, or if you're that Fafnir, like I know who you are, sitting out with a self ECM and then running with two heavy gods, just popping people in the pack. You got a little bit of everything for everybody in this match, which is again what makes it great. So we're just waiting for everyone to get ready for the match. We have seen a little organization between Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. And then the thing about Tourmaline Desert, with the recent changes that have happened, both the spawns spawn in the same way. They're all kind of grouped up together. So it doesn't really matter as much, maybe a slight significant difference between where you put people. The fights have seen, well, I've seen a lot of different types of drops, honestly. I've seen everything from like PPC fights coming in from like Team 1, which would be on the northwest side of the map. Team 2 is, I've seen everything from like trying to work through Death Alley and actually pop up on the right-hand side, securing a few caps along the way. We might just see a straight-up brawl. I mean, we saw Aces Wild bring it in that first one, but I wouldn't put them as just a brawl deck right off the bat. We might see a little more action as we go along. So, again, it's going to be amazing. They join PPCs like we had to deal with not too long ago in our own practice scrims. It's going to be a very yak situations. Highlander Dragoons knows how to trade. They sure do. And they did a good job against Aces while trying to keep them at bay. I think what made it difficult for Mining Collective, though, was just because there's so much structure. There's so many things in the way to kind of block a line of sight. So even though they had the potential and they had some of it to where they're able to overlap and help each other out, just with how much aggression Aces Wild was putting out, they just got picked up one by one. Losing that first mech to Vulcan might have mattered heavily for the cap game, or at least for the back harassment, being able to peel off a little bit for their heavier mechs like the Night Gear and Deathstrike that we saw later on, or especially the Cyclops. But then again, it's Mining Collective being such a small map. You need to get that info as early as you can, and if you don't pull it off, then stuff like that can definitely happen. Which again is not a shame to any other team or anything like that. It's just base facts. It's just tough. All right, we do see Team 1 almost lining up, ready to go. Ash is trying to rally him up because he knows that I can talk a lot and I can talk really fast, which I am trying to slow it down just for y'all. But it does get a little boring when it's just us talking, or I should say me talking. Especially for Ash here, because he gets to hear every single thing right in his ear. There we go. We got Team 1 locked. We're just looking for Team 2 to lock it up. Team 2 is locked. We are ready to go. Good luck, have fun, 07, and launch. So we're starting the Tourmaline Desert. This is going to be the second match between these two teams. Aces Wild has already won one drop of Mining Collective. We are going to see each and single map. Remember, this is an 8v8 mode. And these teams are going to bring it. So get ready for that. All right. More than likely, we'll start with the first team that I see right off the bat. I'm sure what's going to happen is that I'll go over each of the drops for both teams. I'm sure Ash is going to give you some excellent camera work because they are pro and expert at everything they do. And I'm going to do my best to talk about the action and see where I can notice it. Now, if Ash is watching something different, I'm talking about something different, that's okay. That's part of the excitement, is that you get to hear and see things happening at the same time. Oh, baby. Both teams wish each other good luck because that's who they be. All right, so coming in with Highlander Dragoons, we do see a Warhammer 6R, Warhammer 2C, a Commando 1D, Assassin 21, Night Gear Prime, Vulcan 5T, Rifleman 2C, and Awesome 8Q. I'm already going to make an adjustment or assumption that we're going to see some Doc and some PPCs. Looking at the Rifleman 2C, sure enough, we got 6 A2s. That Awesome is running 4 ER PPCs. Night Gear running 1 Ultra AC2 and 5 AC2s. Warhammer Black is going to be running the 4 ER PPCs as well. We got 2 ER PPCs coming from the Outlaw Hunters Warhammer with 2 Lights Goss to go with it. I'm assuming you're probably going to see all the good, wonderful stuff like the Vulcan 5T running their good old laser boat medium pulses. We're probably going to see some SRMs coming in the Assassin. Oh, sure enough, and the Commando doing the work. We see a big push coming of Aces Waters. They're already shoving it up to Theta. We see a Firestarter, Black Lantern, Orion, got the Onion, Dervish. We got an Orion as well, 2C, Linebacker, Vulcan, and a Gargoyle. We're seeing some pulsers, we're seeing some macros. I think we might see another Brawl Drive coming out of this. Both these teams, not Bob running the Vulcan, beautiful as always. We got the 6 medium pulses on the Rocketer, 6 medium pulses on the Linebacker. Medium pulses for days. Little scratch fire, nice UAV coming out from Highlander Dragoons as they try to secure Theta strike as well to deny it. Beautiful shots coming from the PPCs all the way near the Epsilon spawning zone for Highlander Dragoons, pushing back the enemy team, knowing that they're wanting to brawl and saying, heck no, we won't allow it. But Ace as well, taking advantage of the fact that now they know where the enemy team is trying to see what they can trade and what they can hit. Beautiful shots hitting Legend of Keld. Legend of Keld having a beautiful paint scheme to go along with it. Running 10 micro pulse lasers and 6 pulse lasers. Another artillery strike trying to zone out the team. Looks like Aces Wild is doing their best to stay consolidated as much as they can, trying to inch their way, using what cover they can to make it happen. Lungbutt are going to be the early information gatherer to see that they're pushing that left-hand side for Highlander Dragoons. And sure enough, Blacklander Firestarter linebacker making some early game shots. Nice strike coming in, actually disrupting some of the flow. But the thing is Highlander Dragoons is all grouped together with PPC drops. And once again, Aces Wild inching themselves closer and closer. That Blacklander dropping down to 84%. Not bobbing. Their Vulcan 5T dropping down to 73%. That color scheme is not going to save them from damage, unfortunately, as they do drop down, losing nothing but their arm. Left, right, and armor. We do have the linebacker going straight in. Looks like they're trying to target out the rifleman 2C. Black Lantern core down the bag, but not before the Warm 6R finally gets taken down, followed up quickly by the Black Lantern as well, getting taken out. This is now the brawl that the Highlander Dragons was trying to avoid. They are still pretty hefty, but with Tech Drive going down and Outlaw Hunter going down, they are down to 2 mechs with only a Black Lantern going out as well. Beautiful shots. Legend of Keld, they're trying to push back and get on the side flank. Looks like Legend of Keld is the one that's being focused out. They're using this hill as best they can. Vulcan 5T, death from above, but not quite getting it. Still doing some good shots. We have another one going down by Sir Epic, losing the awesome artillery strikes going from everyone. There's going to be some war crimes happening today. Legend of Keld going down. Zol the Burninator going down. Stuff You Fear going down. It is a 4v5 with not Bob not being a healthy 5. Orbit Rain finally taking some couple shots before it going down as well. This is some backfighting going on between the Assassin finally taking out the Vulcan, but not before losing the component as well. The Assassin trying to deal with the Onion, the linebacker, and another Onion, Mean Machine, putting their shots into it. Firestarter surrounded by so many enemies. What can you do as they finally go down? It's going to be Succubus and Haji doing their best to harass the enemy team. The Vulcan is in the background trying to get some pop shots out of there, pop-tarting like a champion. Looks like the Orion and linebacker being like, okay, I'll bite as they're chasing forward. Mean Machine coming in with a AC2 and 4 SRM6. I said AC2, I meant to say AC20. Meanwhile, we have a little bit of a light fight going on with Succubus versus Alex. Firestarter versus Commando. Firestarter is a little more damage, but not so much against a Commando. They have the 8 pulse lasers. That Commando definitely does not want that fight. Haji trying to get out of their Vulcan is taking some back leg shots, but they do have their armor pretty fetched except for their right rear torso and their center torso. 69%. Nice. They're doing their best what they can, what they got. Ghost Seeker chasing them down. With the cap lead and where they are, Iron Dragons technically does have the cap lead, but they have a lot of work to put for them. They might be able to pull it off. It looks like Alex is still trying to hunt down Succubus, and they're a Firestarter, still putting in some shots, doing a little bit of damage, a little trace damage, trying to see what they can open up. Doesn't seem like Succubus even wants this fight. They know that they can win by caps as of right now. If they try to take on the full team, it's going to be too tough. They might have had some in-game comms asking Vulcan, hey, Haji, help me out with this guy. This guy is all over me, and I do not like it. Looks like they're re-engaging on the Vulcan, or the Firestarter, excuse me, seeing they're going to get some fire. Vulcan 5T coming in, but quickly being followed by the linebacker. That left leg on the Firestarter is cored out. Ooh, even more so. Succubus not missing shots. Finally being finished out by Haji, taking out the rest of that leg. Will they finish the mech, or will they disengage, knowing the Firestarter can't hurt them anymore? Disengage it is, and I think that was a proper call because they need to try to maintain this cap lead if they can. They still have the 2 caps. Theta could easily be taken over by Ace as well, and I think that is the call. Mean Machine moving their way towards a Ghost Seeker, and the Firestarter are kind of just zoning out, trying to see if they can spot him. They do see Succubus way off the distance, so lasers won't hit them, but they at least let them know, hey, I see you. Where are you going? And there we go. Vulcan 5T grabbing the cap, seeing if they can secure for Kappa. Just make sure they do keep their 2 cap lead. For a moment, though, there was a 3 cap lead coming in from Ace as well, but quickly being taken away. However, that linebacker is not going to be super great for that Vulcan to fight. A linebacker is, all things considered, the freshest as it needs to be, while that Vulcan has a few dinks on its armor. The Commando's going for the Sigma for Highlander Dragons. The Vulcan, maybe noticing, maybe not really caring, is disengaging in the fight. The linebacker, hoping they could have gotten a tasty little ambush, is going to be sadly disappointed. We have a little bit of a waiting game with 9 minutes and 14 seconds left on the clock. Both teams doing their best to secure what they can for a victory. Again, with Ace's Wall being set up for an easy, well, no, I wouldn't say easy, but for a successful brawl push, finally getting to the mix of it did lead to a very destructive fight. Get to see all those corpses all put together. New graveyard on the map, everybody. Caps being taken. bit by bit. We do see a little scrapping coming in from the Vulcan being piloted by Haji against Ghost Seeker. The thing is that Mean Machine is right here, and dropped it down to 59%. Will the Vulcan 5T be able to square this away? Are they going to wisely disengage? Wise it is. Linebacker trying to see if they can catch it on the right-hand side, but that Vulcan is out of there with the linebacker not being quite quick enough to catch up to him. Haji can at least disengage. The question is, what is Haji going to do? Right now, they have a 3-cap lead. They are in the lead as far as Highlander Dragoons go. They do have a 445-point lead. Oh, look at that 437. Unnecessary, but it's kind of fun to notice some things in the game. We do see an interesting development with the Succubus Commando moving in to see if they can take Theta. Now, the Firestarter is still nearby. It does have most of its armor, other than its, obviously missing left leg. It does know about the cap. Don't know if the Commando is aware. The Vulcan 5T is coming in as well. They are securing Theta. If this Firestarter jumps in on this, it might go down very quickly. Wisely, though, is getting the intel, it's getting the information, but keeping its pilot's life well enough, because look at that reinforcements coming from Mean Machine and Ghost Seeker, bringing in their linebacker and Orion to see if they can support it. Now, it does seem like the Firestarter was indeed spotted out. Commando and Vulcan saying, you know what, we're going to take this mech out at least. Left torso already ripped on the Firestarter. Will they be able to claim it as the artillery strike did not give him anything else? Nice burn from rear armor coming from Haji with the Vulcan. And there goes that torso, so this mech is still down to 5 pulse lasers. But look at that, reinforcements finally coming in, and Ghost Seeker chasing off that Commando, the Vulcan, saying, hey, I still want to put a little damage on this guy, coring out Firestarter, maybe 1 or 2 more taps, and that Firestarter is gone, and boom, there it goes. Now, was it worth it? Again, that's another quick mech to take off. Every little mech that gets taken out, the better the cap lead it is for this team. This Commando is so close from popping. That left torso, ready to pop, ready to go. Seeing they're going to go back for the Kappa flag. Again, they should be able to outrun these teams. They just cannot win a fight. Scaling the mountain, maybe trying to get some good intel. Vulcan having disengaged as the Orion 2C, putting in some good hurt. LBX-20, it might not be super accurate at range, but every shot that hits counts. Now, Belleron seeming to have read Haji's playstyle, knows exactly what they're going for. That meter range is not that far, so this is going to be this could be some dipping and diving. We need to see Haji do some left, right, twist, spin. There we go, a little jump jet action to kind of keep themselves a little bit unsuspecting. Oh, that Vulcan. One touch, one good LBX-20 hit. Ooh, that was a nice one, but not good enough. That range finally coming in and showing its numbers. We do see the Commando is actually going for Kappa. Again, Highlander Dragoons might actually pull this off based off the cap lead they were able to get early game and the fact that they were able to keep their wolf pack alive. And that goes to show, again, your main force, your heavy mechs, your assault mechs, they can make a huge impact on the game. But I will say that when it comes to the end of the game, if there's a healthy or at least somewhat competent wolf pack left alive by the enemy team and you still just have your main force, the best you can do is split up your mechs, try to see if you can set one on each cap and do what you can. And they pretty much did it. Aces Walls did their best, but a lucky pickup from the Firestarter and not enough quick mechs to actually kind of keep up makes it a little bit difficult. Looks like Haji is going to run into the linebacker, taking off a nice little torso. One more shot like that, that Vulcan is gone. Will they be able to dip away? Linebacker trying to read the movement, and I think they read it successfully. Orion actually going for the gimme flag, and there goes the Vulcan. But with 3 caps still leading, that gimme flag being gambled, it does have a little bit of cap there. I'm pretty sure Highlander Dragoons actually managed to take this fight. They're light mech pilots. They need to get all the rewards. Buy them a beer if you see them, because my goodness, they put in the work and the effort to keep their team in the game. And there goes the victory. Good job, Highlander Dragoons. Beautiful match. Great gameplay. Let's see those damage numbers. See what we can kind of entail. Who did the most work? All right, so looking over the team stats. These are the numbers all across all the teams. For Highlander Dragons, their top damage pilot was again Haji in that Vulcan. 588 damage. Mwah, beautiful. And then, not to be disappointed though, Alex in their Firestarter, the one leg's left missing a torso mech at the very end, still pulled in 673 damage. Good work by all. Amazing teamwork. Let's see what else they can do. So this is the kind of matches that all casters want, all streamers want, anybody who's really watching a game, whether it be MechWarrior Online, football, what you got at home, even if it's just kicking a ball to the other side of the field. You want close games. You don't want those blowouts. Blowouts are so boring. They're so uninteresting. It's like, oh, look, this team beat this other team easily. No, you want to see matches that go back and forth constantly. And that's exactly what we're going to get so far today. We have one win from Aces Wild and one win for. Nope, just looking at the map things. Yeah, one win for Aces Wild and one win for Highlander Dragoons. Good stuff all together. Looks like the next map we're going to be on is HPG. Looks like Aces Wild is going to be in Team 1. We are going to, and just to, I'll go over it again, like what is the actual plan and what is actually happening right now. Just in case we have any last minute people stopping by. Good Lord, I need a beer. All right, looks like he's got a strap up there. I'm definitely keeping Ash excited as we go along. Thanks, Ash. There we go. All right, so we're going to look at the map. Looks like he's got it pulled up. Let's go ahead and swap to the appropriate map. So we're looking at HPG. Now, HPG's got a lot of things going for it. That's Hibernal Rift, just to show you how cool that map is. But instead, we're going to look at Hibernal. Looks like we already see some good information being put in by Ash. Again, what a legend, what a hero. We do see that from what he's marked up so far. And I'm assuming that the colors are going to be swapped, but we can go with it as long as we know as we go. We do see that there is some marking for positioning for some of the wall snipers coming in from the top. And yes, I definitely believe that we might see some wall sniping, at least from one of these teams. If not one mech, maybe two. I do have to admit that seeing how Aces Wild has considerably been focused on the push, maybe we'll see another one. Now, I know another popular strat that we'll usually see on these maps, and I'm going to mark it for Team Red for the time being, is that sometimes we see from the C push just a wall, not necessarily like you're actually moving along or you are like trying to take the wall at top, but you're actually moving along the side. And then what this does for you is it keeps you at range in order to keep peppering the mechs if they try to take the top, trying to enclose them in the basement if they do go for the basement. Just plays as a range game and keeps that entire wall, letting your light mechs slip over to the Gibby flag of Team 1 with Gamma. There's a lot of good things you can see on these teams. I think that with Highlander Dragoons, they showed it. They are happy doing the trade game. They're happy doing the range game. They brought a lot of good damage. The thing is that they just need to make sure that they can keep their movement up because, again, as long as they can let Aces Wild getting closer and closer, it's going to keep sealing that fate. So if they could pull it off, though, honestly, I'm kind of curious to see how this match really goes. Like, because again, you don't see too many basement pushes. I know they're jargon about bringing LRMs in basement, which I would love to be there to see it. But you don't see too many basement pushes because what happens is that you take the top ground, you take the high ground, you take the outside ground in general, and where's your team? All in the basement. And that just leaves a lot of opportunity for back shots as you try to peel out if the enemy team has got the information. Like all these matches, they always come down to who's got the info. One thing I will say, just going to remind everybody, so we are watching the beginning scrim match, the expedition of Aces Wild versus Highlander Dragoons. This is an 8v8 format where you will be able to pick whatever mech you like, heroes, non-heroes, it does not matter. The only limitations you have is they have to use tonnage between 300 to 480. You're only allowed to have a mech of 3 mechs of the same type, so 3 lights, 3 mediums, 3 heavies, 3 assaults, tonnage permitting, obviously. And you're only allowed to have 1 mech at a time, meaning like you can only have 1 Vulcan as opposed to 5 Vulcans, no matter how much you might want. So again, that's kind of the general premise. Normally, we do see a map ban where you actually get to swap to see what team maps are being, or what teams are banning what maps. We will eventually get to see that more and more as we move along with these scrim matches. And then, but for today, we're actually getting into a little special treat. Thank you again, Aces Wild and Highlander Dragoons. We actually get to see every single map and get an idea of what people might do, what they might go for. So this is gonna be an interesting experience for us all. Ash is calling everyone to ready up. Let's go, Vulcan. Let's go. Indeed. All right, looks like everybody in chat is having a great time watching this fighting. Love to see it. Team 1 is ready to go and locked. We're seeing a nice little Bravo and Charlie Lance drops, which again, if we were to reference the map, that means that then indeed Team 1 is thinking about doing something along pushing out of the Bravo Lance, putting between E6 and D6. So they might go in for like a hold the wall kind of strat, keeping their backs to it. Maybe they'll make a full set push. If an interesting spawn with Charlie, 8 mechs in all of them, or 4 mechs in each of them, so no splitting up little like mechs going and grab something else. It probably will still have a little bit of like crap to get the gimme flags because we've seen it. Highlander Dragoons is not afraid to play the cap game. They're actually very comfortable with so. Like I said, we do have a disco for Highlander Dragoons, so give us just a moment as they get that all figured out. Take drive truck, had to pull over the truck, get some new gasoline, and get ready for the fight. Can't blame them. Well, while we take this opportunity, I just want to thank everybody who stopped joining MWO Leagues. Make sure that if you haven't already, give that channel a follow because they get all of your up-to-date, all the time content. for all the tournaments, whether it be Championship, Blood League, or ISC, or even like any of the other tournaments that are going on. We do have some interesting August 2v2 action that's happening right now. If you're not familiar with it, definitely join the MWO Comp Discord so you can get a better idea of what's happening in the scene. But MWO Leagues is going to be there for all that on-air coverage. And, you know, a cheeky sub goes back to the community. So bear that in mind as well, because everything that they earn, not only do they actually use it to improve the channel just for your viewing pleasure, but they also use it to fund for like in-store events, so like or in-game events. They will like all those little competitions you sometimes see where it's like trying to show off how much damage you can do in certain mechs, whether it be really memey or not. Well, where do you think some of those rewards come from? That's right. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Isn't that exciting that you get to support a community that gives right back? Oh my goodness. Right. Well, we're just waiting for Team 2 to lock in. Hopefully they can get their teammate back in soon. Casual banter coming from both the teams. Looks like they did indeed swap somebody out, so they actually have a new person coming in because they're not sure when Tech Drive can actually come back. So we look like we will have a 8v8. We won't have to wait for too much longer. Seeing some organizing from the teams coming around from Team 2. They seem to be going for a... Yeah, we actually have one drop in Bravo. We have a couple of drops in Alpha for Team 2 and a big contingent going into Charlie. So again, good stuff. Let's go ahead and get this match going on. Everyone, good luck, have fun, and salute. Boop. All right, remember y'all, I know you guys are getting into a lot of like fun commentary, but you're here to watch mechs blow up. All right, that's the goal. You want to root on these teams. I don't hear enough people rooting for Aces Wild. I don't hear enough people rooting for Highland Dragoons. Like these teams came in to show you some exciting stuff. You got to support that. If you don't want to root for a team, you don't want to root for a person, then say, man, I love medium pulse lasers. Man, I love missiles. You know, give it up. Why not? It doesn't matter if you've been here forever. Just have some fun. Enjoy it. Let's begin to this next match. Again, match 3 of the Aces Wild Highland Dragoons. 1-1 for both teams. Let's see who can break the tie as of right now. All right, starting off with actually Aces Wild. We're going to go ahead and see. We have a Mauler MX90 coming out, and Annihilator 1A, a Fleet 17, a Wolfhound 2, Madcap B, Warhammer Black Widow, Vulcan 5T, and a Firestarter. Seen some good stuff, but I already see it coming out of it. We're seeing good pulse lasers coming in from all those little light mechs, medium mechs, from small to medium to everything in between. But again, from the heavy boys, Mauler 5 AC5s, the Annihilator 3 Ultra AC5s, 2 Ultra AC10s, also with the Warhammer Black Widow 2 Ultra AC5s, 1 Ultra AC10, and the Madcap B doing Madcap B things, Zilburnator, I see you, 2 Ultra AC5s and 2 Ultra AC10s. Now, let's not take away, we do see the Gimme Flags going in for some of the teams, but from Highlander Dragoons, we do see a Roughneck, a Summoner, a Gargoyle, a Vapor Eagle, Huntsman, excuse me, Cyclops, Firestarter, and a Wolfhound 2. A lot of good mechs, seeing some typical builds on the Wolfhound and the Firestarter, small lasers, medium pulse lasers, you know how it goes. Summoner bringing 5 SRM6, looking for the brawl as usual. Or at least this particular case, we do see a little bit of a basement push coming out with a couple of the heavier mechs, Streak mechs coming in. Slapner bringing 4 LBX10s. We got a Roughneck and a Vapor Eagle already down the bottom, looking for a brawl push with 2 Ultra AC10s and ERPC on the Vapor Eagle. And we're also going to see off of the Roughneck, we're going to see a 1 AC20, 1 SRM4 Artemis, and 2 SRM6s. And then, of course, not to be disappointed, Gargoyle with all the pulse lasers you could ever want for. A little scratch fire coming in as Aces Wild notices the Huntsman. Huntsman trying to use some work of the streets, probably wanting to say no to any light mechs runs. Does see them drop in. We do see some UAVs come in from Aces Wall, so they will know if they do get pushed out of this side. But this is the thing I was talking about. So right now, this is we know where Highlander Dragon's team is. They're in the basement, trying to keep it safe. Nice artillery strike. If you put artillery strike down at the bottom of the basement, it will indeed affect the top. So if you want to get cheeky with it, that's the way to do it. Another UAV going out so they can know who's actually going to be on top. Don't think the UAV was noticed just yet. From Aces Wild, Highland Dragoon getting some decent intel at least. We do see that wall push that I was talking about. Look at that. They're lining up the wall, trying to use the range to help them out, seeing if they can circle around and keep these mechs enclosed. Now, the thing is, Highland Dragoons, they have a 3-cap advantage, so they're actually doing okay right now. They're and all accounts winning, right? Now, all that really needs to happen, though, is that Aces Wild just needs to send their quick little mechs to go grab those gimme flags while the opportunity. Now that their heavy and assault mechs are in position to do so. Eventually, Highland Dragons is going to need to make a push, and they do have a brawl push. So they are going to make a push. The question is, what are they going to go for? Are they going to go for an easy out, going maybe underneath the spine? Are they going to go for their own exit, or are they going to push into the Aces Wild exit and see if they can get closer? They might have an idea where these mechs are, but I kind of doubt it to a certain extent, unless you played it against them enough times to just remember all their strats, because there's no info going out for Highlander Dragons. Yep, Ash is helping me out once again. Thank you, viewers, for noticing. Make sure you give Ash a big round of applause for making this awesome for everybody else. So this is kind of the exciting times for some, the quiet times for others, the calm before the storm, some would say. We do see the Succubus trying to get a little info with their Wolfhound 2 out of the Ace of Wild spawn. We do see a few shots coming out. I think they're just letting people know that, nope, we're still here. They're seeing the UAV go up, so they do know there is at least a little bit of presence. It looks like the Annihilator from Piloted Not Bob is in a position to kind of keep an eye on that angle. Succubus and the Wolfhound 2 trying to peek around, does notice the Annihilator, maybe even the Mauler as well. Huntsman being the weakest mech in the Highlander Dragons, but 91%, but not too bad. Like, nothing's been opened up. Still pretty fresh, all things considered. Little position coming out from Me Machine and Alex as they try to move the Firestar and the Vulcan in order to stop any kind of push. And we do see a safe push coming up. Highlander Dragons realizing, like, okay, they have our flags. We don't have the lead point or point lead advantage anymore, so they're going to push under the spine. Now, the question is, how are they going to pull this off? Will they go for the top and see if they can just bum rush it? Firestar, Stuff You Feared, trying to get that info. Shots coming towards them, but they cannot shoot the birdie out of the sky. Too quick for them. We do see Succubus going for the Give Me Flags in the rear, going to go for Gamma. We do see another mech coming out from Stuff You Fear, also probably going for Epsilon. So they seem to want to flip these cap advantage as much as they can. Position coming from Highlander Dragons is just to make sure that they can get a couple of shots somewhere. Apparently there is a don't cheat being said. Not sure what the reference is there, but I'm sure it'll come up at some point if it actually does matter. Okay, I think Just Call Me Ash is just memeing. Can't help himself to be a part of this, and I can't blame him either. All right, we do see some little bit of trading going off. Paper Eagle trying to get some good shots with those PPCs, or excuse me, one PPC and the two Ultra C10s, not at a huge advantage. Ooh, we do see, we do see a read coming out of Aces Wild. They're setting the Firestar and Vulcan 5T to see if they can catch these two light mechs that are grabbing the gimme caps. It did seem like the Wolfhound 2 and the Firestar did group together from Highlander Dragons in order to cap it together, which in all honesty, it probably worked out great for them. Because they didn't want to be caught on in a 1v2 situation, not against these teams. All right, looks like they pulled out. They're waiting it out. They actually thought there was going to be a 2v2 light versus medium versus light versus medium, but it looks like they did actually pull away from that fight. Not interested. Again, some positioning coming out. This Huntsman is kind of in an interesting spot because, again, it can't do as much of those streaks unless it gets a nice lock. And unfortunately, these mechs know that they got some streaks, so they're not going to allow that to happen anytime soon. We do see Highlander Dragons actually get the 3-cap advantage once again, which will slowly but surely put it back in. We do see a push coming out from Aces Wild. They're actually looks like they're going for a move for the top. We do see from, interesting enough, we do see a cap push coming in from the Gargoyle, Summoner, and Roughneck of Highlander Dragoons going for the Sigma cap. So it looks like Highlander Dragoons is realizing, okay, we can't get into this fight right away. We're not happy with it. So what we're going to do, we're just going to make the cap game work. We do see a quick recap coming in from the Vulcan and Firestar of Aces Wild, taking it back over. We don't see anybody making a play for Theta. Looks like Aces Wild does not want to give that up. Some shots going up from Zilda Burninator and Orbit Rain in the Cyclops. The Cyclops can, again, put some damage out, but in that trade, actually, I'm not really sure who would win that fight. The Vapor Eagle, though, one Ultra C10, already lost one of them, because, again, the full onslaught from the enemy team is all the fires coming up from the top of the Theta campground. The satellite dish providing not only the cover that they need, very little admittedly, but enough armor, enough mechs to make it worthwhile. And that Vapor Eagle drops down to 40%, only one Ultra C10, no range fighting there. This Huntsman, with its streaks, in an interesting spot. That Strike probably to get a little bit of value. All the mechs trying to position to see if they can catch it, drop it down to 56%, 51%, open up on all parts of their mech. They're trying to see if they get into a better spot, but unfortunately, it looks like this mech is definitely going down. And there we have it. Not Bob in the Vulcan. Kill securing for their team. So again, things you got to notice is that right now, these games, cap game is very close to each other. We do see a little squirreling, a little harassment action. Jormender putting up the UAV, just making sure the Navy team or friendly team members know what is happening. This Firestarter is taking a nice little jump jet, but losing the leg in the process. That jump jet was a little too brave, possibly facing if it's another Firestarter, but that Firestarter is far fresher. Losing the mech. against the Wolfpack that is Aces Wild. This Wolfhound 2 having to disengage again, but quickly being followed by a Wolfhound 2 as well. The Vulcan, instead of going straight forward, is actually going to see if they can cut him off at the pass. Excuse me. And again, look at these matches. So we have the cap lead currently still being maintained by Highlander Dragoons. We do see that Theta is finally being flipped over by Aces Wild. They feel maybe they took a couple of mechs and now it's safe enough to do so without being caught out for it. We do see the Kappa flag also being grabbed by Highlander Dragoons as well. They haven't been able to put too much firepower. They have plenty of armor, so they're just like, let's play the cap game. Yourmonger, we talked about it earlier, and it looks like it did actually happen. Not Bob as well. The 3 mechs actually did indeed grab the Succubus as it was running away. Now, unfortunately, it did not catch. Oh, there is Amarok, the Vapor Eagle. Now, man was near to describe it. That was the Vapor Eagle that was down to 1 Ultra AC-10. Not a great position to be in, especially against a Vulcan who wants all the damage. Now, Orbit Rain has the unfortunate or fortunate duty to keep that flag safe. Sigma is their goal. Remember, all you really got to do is you got to shoot somebody, and as long as they're not on the cap, or as long as they're being shot while they're on the cap, they won't be able to cap it, even if there's other people there. So, worth it. Points are coming in. We're already seeing GGs coming in for both teams. Look at them. The positioning coming out is fantastic. Maybe there's some better higher division players just like, oh my goodness, this is so cringe. For me, I think it's fantastic. They're reading their teams. They're knowing what each other is doing. They're trying to be able to outposition each other as much as they can. Overrated trading into what is left of their armaments against the unfortunate Aces Wild onslaught. Finally going down, but yeah, Aces Wild finally getting another cap. Only 1 cap being secured by Highlander Dragoons. I do think Highlander Dragoons might be out of this game. And sure enough, the 750 points going to Aces Wild, it is indeed over. But what an interesting game. A lot of back and forth, a lot of just trying to get into the positioning, but they did it. Both of them did it. Honestly, I think both teams should be pretty excited about it. I think it kind of just came down to a little bit of the timing of it. If maybe it was a little bit quicker on the Highlander Dragoons in order to get out of the position instead of waiting there, maybe they could have gotten more. But again, that's the gamble, right? Look at the damage. I'm not expecting huge numbers. And sure enough, Zolda Burninator, the Madcap being bringing 4 and 4 damage. Well done. Very good. And then we'll also see from Highlander Dragons not able to do too much because, again, they were going for a cap game. So don't be too disappointed in this damage. But Red Smith and that Streak Back not having great positioning, still managed to pull 193 damage. Huzzah, and good job to you, homie. Even the viewers cannot understand what happened in that match. Just good old NW fighting. Gotta love it. All right, we'll see what map we're gonna get prepped for here in a second. We'll probably get the MW Texas going on. I'm sure that good old Ash is probably put a little bit doodling in there as well. It was kind of nice to see that at least one of the ideas that I had come up with from it looks like Aces Wild actually ended up being true, with a nice Charlie wall push coming out of Team 2, holding F5 and Echo 6 to keep that wall at their backs. It was interesting to also see a basement push coming out of Highlander Dragoons as they were ready for at least a scrap. Maybe they were hoping that seeing Aces Wild had brawled the last 2 drops, maybe they were hoping they were going to brawl once again. But it turns out Aces Wild had an ace up their sleeve. You're welcome. Apparently, Ash is glad that his mic is off. I'm sure he had some wonderful color commentary to throw in as well. That was a fun match to watch, though. At least I think it was. It looks like we're looking at Polar. Polar Island set. Aces Wild Team 2 swapping. Right. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a wonderful time. Thanks again for supporting the stream and supporting MWO Leagues as they put in the work to make this fun and exciting for you. All right, we have everything set up. You do map strap. All right, looks like Ashley is going to help out with the map strap for us. Let's go ahead and see the map here in a second. I'm going to swap over to it. Now, Polar Highlands. This is indeed the new map, Polar Highlands. We do have a lot of things that have happened on this map already, because again, this map was introduced during Bloodly, so these competitive teams have had practice with this match entirely. Looks like Ash is going ahead and erase some of the doodling they've done before. Maybe make sure Ash and Mike going ahead and doing the map runs as well, or looks like he is taking it over. Looks like we're seeing a little bit of marking coming in from the Team 2. Sigma and Gamma being some of the flights that to go for, and maybe an H9I9 range fight coming out as well. But not to be disappointed, he's marking that Team 1 is probably going to go for a similar thing, going for Epsilon and Kappa, with a little bit of fighting coming in from H8I8, calling it contest Theta. Both teams may indeed counter NASCAR or NASCAR to run it, either pushing to the G line or pushing to the I line for both respective teams. And I have to say, I've seen a lot of interesting position coming out of this. There is a couple of spots, in particular, J8 is one of them. The F9 spot as well is one of them. Is going to be two of the spots that I've seen, like a lone PPC mech. I've seen a lone, let's see, long range laser build, and actually being able to put in the shots for the people. From like wherever the enemies are. Because when you have those flags, you have a little information on Gamma, even though you don't want to be Wolfpacks, but you have info on Sigma and Theta at the same time. So again, it's got some good stuff. We do see some interesting purple lines. I do not know what it is for the purple lines, other than there's a lot of stuff happening in Theta. Probably the idea that maybe both teams will brawl push into it and just see a nice little slugfest between all the buildings of Theta. And once again, if you have forgotten, Polar Highlands has swapped out to where there's a lot more ramps, a lot more cover. It is not the alarm haven that a lot of people used to know back in the day. Alarm still can be done, but it's a little different in how the fight can go. And honestly, I think it has opened it up to where you get to see a little more of deviation from the norm. Don't get me wrong, you still see your NASCARs and all that fun stuff in sort of quick play, but at the same time, you do see some interesting positioning. You actually see people practicing their trading in some of these matches, and it's kind of a sight to behold as people get more and more familiar. Personally, I love being in the thick of it. I love being in those tiny buildings right there in the middle of that fight, because honestly, it gives you a lot more cover than you might think, especially if you're running a cheeky little Vulcan mech. So honestly, if you haven't played in the Polar Highlands, or if you haven't played with the newest updates, check it out. With all the balance changes and all the map changes that have happened, there's been some fantastic stuff. As both these teams get ready, we do have Highlander and Dragoons on Team 1 with Aces Wild on Team 2. We're due seeing the pilots come back again. This is going to be, again, the fourth drop for all the teams. So far, we have seen Mining Collective, Tourmaline Desert. We have seen, excuse me, HPG Manifold. And lastly, we're going to see Polar Highlands. There is still one map after this, and that'll be the new changed Canyon Network as well. Not as new as Polar Highlands, but still pretty new. I love the artwork that we're seeing from you, Ash. Beautiful stuff. Honestly, I think you should be more of an artist. If you're already an artist and I've never seen those streams like that, then shame on me and shame on you, viewers, for not noticing as well. But moving on. So we do, this is the fourth map of the 5. Normally, once again, you only see one of these maps during the comp queue, with bans being included. But this time, again, we're going to get to see each of the matches and each of these teams' interesting style. So, and use these videos. This is going to go onto the MW League's YouTube channel, so definitely spot that, because it's going to be good reading to kind of go over. Maybe late at night, you're trying to see like what could be good straps, whether you be a new team or an old team, trying to prep for one of these teams to play with. It's always great content to watch, and I'm sure the viewership for MW Leagues is not bad either. We do see Team 1 lock. We have an Alpha Bravo Charlie split. We do see that Team 2 is full sending into Alpha and Bravo themselves. Waiting for a ready up, and then we'll get it on. Oh, cheeky person just stopped on in. Very good, very good. All right, we have a little bit of a tonnage imbalance. Hopefully that will be fixed in just a moment. Don't want to start a match and have people cheating right off the bat. There we go, 475 coming out of Team 2. A little less than Team 1, but, you know, it's not just about the amount of tonnage you can bring. It's what you can do with that tonnage. All right, just waiting for Not Bob to give it ready up. Probably eating one more taco before the match starts. And there we have it. Team 2 is logged, and we are ready to go as we move on to Polar Highlands 5-cap Conquest. And it should be glorious. So again, with how the teams are, we have Aces Wild with 2 wins. We have Highlander Dragons with 1 win. I honestly, this can still go to either team. We've seen different strats come out of both teams now. Highland Dragons did actually do a brawl trap last map, so maybe we'll see something in the similar. They might fall back in the range trap, because that it does seem to be the thing that they're most comfortable with, and especially since they didn't get great results with the brawl trap because they didn't have a team to brawl with. It would make sense for them to start it off that way. So we won't move anywhere else. We're going to stay where we are so we can see this team fly on, also to make it a little bit easier on Ash, who's actually doing all the camera action again. Look at all the good vibes, good lucks, and all that coming out. Beautiful to see it. Oh, what a beautiful map. I personally really like it, but... And then, I'm happy for anything new at this point. All right, so coming in from Aces Wild, we have the Warmer 6R coming in, a Firestarter, Vapor Eagle 3, Vulcan 5T, Hellbringer F, Wolfhound 2, Mad Cat 1, and a Mad Cat 2. Wait. Oh, okay, Marauder. For a moment, I thought I saw 2 Mad Cats, and I was like, oh, this is awkward. Should I say something? But nope, all the teams are doing it correctly because they're pros, obviously. So we're seeing some Vapor Eagle actually come from, or PPC actually coming out of the Vapor Eagle, 4 ER PPCs coming out of the Marauder 2C. We do see 2 ER PPCs, 2 Light Gosses coming out of the Warhammer. We do indeed see from the Hellbringer, probably going to see Laser Bombing. No, 4 ER large lasers. I should have guessed it. And lastly, from the Mad Cat as well, with 2 Gauss Rifle, 2 ER large lasers. We are going to see some quick caps coming in for both these teams as they're going for at least We're seeing Sigma Green grab it as well. Lastly, the Vulcan 5T running the 5 medium pulse lasers as to be expected. Wolf Owl 2 probably running the 6 medium pulses as expected and 5 medium pulses, excuse me. And then we have the 8 small pulse lasers coming out of the fire starter. Now let's go ahead and pay attention to Highland Dragons as we're getting very quick into this match. We have a Commander 1D coming in for Theta. We have Orbit Rain running their Night Gear. We have Shaman in the Battle Master. We have the Vulcan 5T coming out, Warhammer 6R, Vapor Eagle as well, Assassin 221, and of course, Sir Epic Boner and their Death Strike. Of course, like the quick mechs, SRMs coming out of the Assassin. Commander probably going to run their little SRMs as well. Maybe a Casual Flamer. No, we got 2 small lasers coming in. We see a little bit of action coming out as the Wolfhound and the Fire Starter from Aces Wild is trying to let the Commander know that they're all aware of each other. We do see a cap coming in from Aces Wild toward the Gamma Flag with another mech coming in from Highland Dragons to maybe chase it off. We do see that the unfortunate stuff you fear in the Commander was indeed bullied off by the 2 light mechs. And Theta is going to go their way. Ooh, a nasty, delicious shot coming in from those range mechs. We do see some interesting positioning coming out of the Warhammer 6R Outlaw Hunter and Sir Epic Boner as they're actually all the way over this side of the grid. See if we get some good line of sight, some good shots into the Theta. Artillery Strike going out, trying to zone out a little bit. PPC actually come from Tech Drive Truck and trying to see if they can pop some things. Ooh, Tech Drive Truck, unfortunately losing one of their shield arms right off the bat. Those PPC shots coming in from, again, Aces Wild. Looks like they have practiced a little range drop as both these teams are going to see who can trade better. We do have the Gamma Flag thing slowly kind of observed and figured out by Red Smith, but indeed they have not gone for the cap. We do see the Hellbringer kind of seeing it's trying to get in position maybe on top of that big hill over by Gamma. But again, just the PPCs coming out from Mean Machine, the Mad Cat 2C with the Gossip PPCs. We do see a little bit of scrapping with Stuff You Fear. Once again, it seems like I try to steal Theta. But the Fire Starter and the Wolfhound 2 are doing what I love about this area. Look at all this cover. PPCs don't necessarily harass them too much unless you get into one of the firing lines. The Commando has a little bit of cover, but again, Alex noticing the Fire Stuff You Fear is coming right back in. Vulcan by Belleron also in position. They're not letting this Commando get this for free. That is for sure. Some good shots coming in. Both of them just trying to land the PP shots. Artillery Strike remapping the map that was just made. Doing it for free, not even trying to be a developer. We got Legend of Kelda being in a pretty high spot, using those large lasers to try to see if we get another couple of pot shots on the Battle Master. At this range, it's just a little bit of trace damage, nothing too massive or too heavy hitting. I will say that Orbit Rain has gotten hit on the right and left torso, trying to use their AC2s in order to outrange the things that are coming in from Not Bob and Zol the Burninator and their Mad Cats and their Marauder 2Cs. This might be, I'm just going to call it right now, maybe another long map. Currently, though, in the cap lead, Aces Wild who have a heavy cap lead of 3 caps. It does look like that Gamma is still just being observed. They're not going for that Vulcan. It's not daring making a move on that one. I kind of feel like the Vulcan needs to get engaged with the Vapor Eagle and Hellbringer instead of just lurking around Gamma, because at this point, those mechs are just getting more damage, and a little scroll action might be able to be just enough to distract him. Vulcan still maybe thinking about it, just still getting in position. Maybe they're waiting for an artillery strike to finally come out so they can actually position right now. Not a lot of things going on. We do see Zool dropping down to 64%. Again, nothing cored out yet. We do see Mean Machine being dropped down to 69% as well, losing its left arm, shield arm, but it still has its right arm to help share some damage, share the load, as they say. Orbit Rain dropped down to 77% down as well. Shaman going down to 80%. Ooh. Getting the position. Ooh, there we go. Nice artillery strike coming out. I don't think it was from the Vulcan, though, since it was considered from the front. The Hellbringer still sitting at 84%. Vapor Eagle doing fine as well. We're just seeing the side of everything. All right. Well, at least we have a little bit of a close range fighting, because right now the training is just going big back and forth. We do have Zola the Brenner drop down to 50% altogether. They're the lowest personnel in the 80 Aces Wild with the 69%. Altogether, Highland Dragoons is doing okay. We do see this Assassin 21 is trying to get some nice hits on that 5-star. Good salvos into Alex. With a little support, Night Gear coming up. The Orbit Pain bringing indeed the pain. Well, they were hoping for it, but almost as if they heard my own comms. They have disengaged. Belleron and the Vulcan and Alex and the 5-star not wanting to be scrolled or chased away. Again, the Vulcan by Impaled Red Smith is still sitting on Gamma, just kind of keeping an eye on the horizon, make sure nothing changes. We do see Stuff You Fear grabbing the Gimme Flag, actually giving Highland Dragons the 3 cap lead that they desperately needed, but unfortunately for Stuff You Fear, oh, actually not that unfortunate. Stuff You Fear almost reading it, decided to disengage, is trying to get out of the fight before those Wolfhound 2 can chase it down. 5 medium pulse lasers might put in some good damage, and honestly, this is a big, if they are able to pick up a light mech from either team, that's a big part of the game. Ooh, Meanwhile, being distracted, Orbit Rain somehow dropping down to 44%. If I click on the mech, for me, it shows that it's cored out. So don't know what's up with that. Maybe it is just a special variant of that mech, where they have two chassis variant or two armors put on top of it, just to confuse the communication. 44% is pretty close to being dead. Right and left torso ready to pop. I'm assuming you see that as well, Ash. That looks a little odd to me. All right, we see Not Bad coming in. So I mean, with Mean Machine, looks like they were wanting to get a little bit more into the fight. Maybe they extend to their cap point lead. We do see, so finally, Stuff You Fear actually is the one that takes his cap. Red Smith and the Vulcan, again, just trying to provide some positioning. I think that Vulcan should just full send into that Vapor Eagle. I mean, if they don't have that intel, that Vapor Eagle is about to lose its right torso. The Hellbringer up there as well, and the Hellbringer's a little bit healthier. Oh, it looks like, again, Stuffy Fear hearing my comms is indeed trying to harass that Vapor Eagle in just a moment, taking out that side torso, dropping to 1 PPC. That is enough work, I would say, as well. Pulling off the fight, artillery strike coming in. We get in the mix. It looks like the Vulcan, their fresh Vulcan, does come in, and oh! Kokery! Either that was their artillery strike or that was a good shot, but they managed to take out the Vapor Eagle just in time. As we see Sir Epic Poner going down as well. Zulda Burninator finally going down. That was the weakest mech on Ace's Wad for a long time there, but wasn't the first one to die. Not Bob holding this cover to save themselves, but there's a lot of damaged mechs on this team. And I guess thankfully Ace's Wad, they have not lost some of their quicker mechs yet, just some of their good long-range DPS. The component coming off of that Stuff You Fears, that Commando again does good Commando things and tries to get out there. Outlaw Hunter going, or excuse me, 4A, 4F, everybody's going down at this point. Red Smith finally getting engaged on this mechs on that top of that hill. Vulcan 5T going out. Unfortunately, Not Bob is in a bad position now where it has Highlander Dragons all over him to shoot. Alex is finally able to take out Lung Butter out of that fight. Assassin going down. Stuff You Fear with the Sir Epic Punter trying to work on that Firestarter. Again, take out these light mechs will make a big difference in this game. Firestarter only has right torso cored out. Will they be able to get it? Or will Sir Epic Punter lose it? Everything. Has 2 ER large lasers and finally takes down that mech. Not Bob barely lives somehow, some way. Cored out and almost all around, but still has 2 ER PPCs winning that shot by getting back shot by Tuck. And then Red Smith, the Vulcan, coming in and just doing a nice little clean of 2 mechs left behind by Ace's Wild. The Vulcan and the Hellbringer. How the Hellbringer survived, I don't even know at this point. Let's look at this guy. This guy is cored out. And perfect timing by me. Streamer curse as I get that guy killed just by looking at him. Shame on me. So, it's going to be probably a cap game. Looking at this Vulcan. Again, this Vulcan was the one they were kind of like, why isn't he taking that flag? Why is he interfering on those fights? Why isn't he scrolling? Bigger brain than me, apparently, maybe even Galaxy Brain, as this mech has stayed alive and has been the freshest out of this team. Out of everybody, in fact. 96% to the closest one being 87% Vulcan. Going for the Kappa flag, knowing that the enemy team is going to be probably the furthest away. And if it does get engaged with a lot of them, it might be defeated. But with only 1 cap in their lead, and they're going for a, unfortunately, big cap right now. So it's taking a second longer with a 5 cap lead. Ooh, I mean, the points can kind of go towards it, but I think they need to grab a second cap. Epsilon is a kind of a just easy grab, an easy cap over. But I don't know, to be honest with you. Highland Dragons is in a great position right now. Well, at least with the caps, they're spreading out their mechs. They're trying to diversify as much as they can, still maintain the 5 cap lead because of the cap of being so full capped. Already catch themselves to 604 points before they even flip Kappa. No points going to Ace's Wild this time. Can Belleron do this? Again, they're fresh. Oh, and I am getting some good old feedback from reverse where, again, Red Smith was the one that was staying alive in the back. Belleron was just doing, normal, medium, and Wolfpack mech things and just trying to secure caps where they can. Looks like they're sitting on Kappa, seeing if they can use that in order to win the fight. With a 4-point lead. Oh, actually, I think they could do it. They already see them on Kappa. They just can't let them get this. He's got to get the shot. Instead, the cap does indeed get flipped. This Commando just needs to stay alive as long as it can. It's so beaten up and eaten. Nice strike coming out. Does get taken out. Do they realize that there's an artillery strike on their butt? Oh, they do. They do get out of it in the meantime, but that's just, again, biding more time. This Vulcan does have to go back in. Highlanders did take it with their point lead, claiming it, finally getting it back at the very end. What a match to see. Highlanders showing that they can do the trade game and bringing it back with a cap point, even though they were down by such a huge margin. 5 caps. At any point, you get a 5 cap lead. Doesn't matter how far you're down, you will pick it up. So coming in from Highlander Dragons, we do see the top damage coming out for Sir Epic Poner, going in an easy 573 damage in their Mad Cat B Death Strike. We do see from Ace's Wall 660 come from Legend of Keldo, the Hellbringer, one of the last long range mechs, still alive by the end of the game. Fantastic job, well done, and what a fight. And there we have it. Highlander Dragoons tying it up. So we have now 2 matches for Ace as well, 2 matches for Highlander Dragoons, going into the final match, the tiebreaker, the match to start yet end this drop, but start the championship for 2021. Oh, right. Love to see it. It's beautiful stuff. It really is. I may be drinking some caffeine, so you got me right there, Finest Reapers. And I'm not sure what I'm keep telling myself, Feek, but if it's that you're an amazing person, then I'll keep telling myself all day, every day. I got you. Don't worry. All right. So there we go. Canyon Network for the final match. Ace as well taking team 1. All right. Let's let them know I'm swapping. So just in case they're, want to worried about people knowing stuff, you know how it could be. Swapping the teams right now. We're going to see the final drop show. All right, there we go. There we go. I'm going to just tell them great matches, by the way, just in case it helps their spirits. I don't think they need much help. They're doing fantastic. I'm just hanging out with them at this point. They're doing all the good work. I just get to be excited watching these mechs destroy each other intimately and passionately. But there we go. So, yeah, we're going into this final match. Looks like we have the map straps coming up. Thank you again, Ash, as we look at Canyon Network. So, with Canyon Network, there's a lot of things we've seen on this one. Am I right? I've seen teams, specifically one of these teams, bringing an LRM drop. I've seen nice PPC action from one of the other teams. I've seen, nice solid brawling. Now, typically in quick play, and I guess I'll go ahead and use this stuff and mess around with it. So with Team Blue, quick play, this is what you normally see, right? You see Team 1 go all the way around the pickles, what I call it. Probably no one else calls that. And they kind of try to see if they can NASCAR and move all the way around, sometimes pushing this way, sometimes shoving over the center. That's some of the things you normally see. Funny enough, in comp, you can see some of the same. The E4, D5, or Pickle Ridge is what I call it, because, I don't know, it just looks like a pickle to me. Maybe I'm just hungry. But whenever you sit up there, you can have some pretty good range profiles on people in C4 to D3. And then if you really want to be cheeky again, cheeky is my favorite word today. E5, I've seen some nice LRM drops go there, where they actually put some good fire support, not to be pushed by anyone. And then from Team Red, if you want to see what it's like to be on the quick play side, sometimes you see them push through this like C4 trench to D3, push up that ramp, and try to engage the enemy there. For a lot of the times, though, you're going to see for comp probably some people holding around this back ridge. I don't have a nice food thing for there. It kind of looks like, I don't know, a really terrible wing, like a chicken wing. But anyways, that's where the teams go. Apparently, Ash did not like my drawing as he erased it utterly, wanted to put in his own. All right, Ash, I see how it is. You are the top caster, so it does make sense that you're going to let me know how it goes. He does show that one thing that I didn't get to mention yet was that in Team 2, there is a spot called the Graveyard, which is one of the places in B5, a little bit to C5, where you'll see sometimes long-range mechs be able to put up some good fire and able to secure Epsilon. For the most time, I do see a lot of good cap pushes, or not cap pushes, 3 cap holds. This map isn't that big, so you can just boil down to just mechs fighting it out. But it's very easy to kind of have good lines of sights over like all the 3 caps. I do see that Kappa in some of the matches does get just largely ignored, unless you are going for the cap strat, because again, you could always secure it later on if you really need it. I do sometimes even see teams just brawl it out at Epsilon, which is amazing to see. It comes down to who pushes who first, with D5 Team 1 mechs just sitting around that corner, C5 all the way a little bit into D5 on that edge with as well. Just wait to see who blinks first, and then they just push all along that. We might see that because both teams have shown the willingness to brawl. Ace as well has definitely gotten theirs down pat. But again, only time will tell. And still have the teams getting together. So we'll take this moment to say, as I am wanting to do, thank you, everybody, for stopping by, checking this out. Isn't this amazing? Having these matches has been fantastic. I hope you've been enjoying the commentary brought to you by Yuntao, and I hope you've been enjoying the camera action brought to you by Ash. I'm lucky enough, and I again appreciate the casting community to give me this chance to actually cast on the MWO Leagues channel. My first match was a little technically messy, but at the same time, that's how we learn. We make some mistakes, we try to pay attention to them, we let people yell at us, and then after a certain period of time, we're like, okay, I won't do that again. So again, we're getting a lot of good stuff. We're seeing a lot of people coming in to watch this, and I hope you guys are enjoying this content because it has been amazing to witness and be a part of nonetheless. So again, shout out to the viewers participating in MW leagues, whether you be here on the Twitch or here on YouTube. And also, an easy shout out to, again, the MW community for making this possible. Because, again, without you guys making people play this game and getting people involved, we wouldn't have an MW community. PGI does their best with their fun events and stuff like that. But, again, the people who play it is what makes it happen. Not Bob wanting us to do 10. I don't know if Ash is down for that. Probably not. In fact, I'm probably not is either because, again, casual side news announcement. Free comic book day is coming out tomorrow for anybody who has a local card game shop. So if you know of a local card game shop and you want to support them and you want free comics, show up. Take some free comics. Tell people where you got them. That's all you really got to do. How's that for advertisement? A little sip of the coffee. There we go. All right, Casual Bandit, looks like everyone is ready to go. So let's go ahead and tell the teams good luck, have fun, and let's get it on for the final match. And boom. Yep, consumables, whether you love them or not, they are useful. That's for sure. I still haven't perfected the UAV technique and put an artillery strike on top of that one. Yes, it can be done. I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure someone can teach me. So we're going to the Canyon Network. Yes, this is one of the maps that was reworked a little bit a while ago now. Basically, they got rid of the giant boulders in the middle of Theta, and they basically established a lot of trenches and stuff like that for people to play around with. So let's go ahead and start where we are so we don't have to make the camera guy go too far. Good sportsmanship come from both the teams. We do see from Highlander Dragons another 1P, Commando 1D, Roughneck R, Grasshopper 5H, Vulcan 5T, Firestarter, Vapor Eagle, and a Warhammer 2C. I think we are indeed going to see some good range. Yeah, 5 ER Ledgers coming from the Annihilator, 4 ER Ledgers coming from the Roughneck, 5 ER Ledgers coming from the Grasshopper, and of course we get the medium pulses from the Vulcan, the SRMs more than likely coming from the Commando with the 2 small lasers. We do indeed see the Firestarter with all the small lasers. It's good to see that mech is getting more and more play since the balance changes. And of course, a nice casual Vapor Eagle doing the ERPPC game and way of the life. So we're going to move over to Aces Wild. Aces Wild is bringing in a Vapor Eagle, Warhammer 6R, Mad Cat, or Marauder 2C8. We got a 5-setter 8 as well coming out, a Vulcan 5T, Hellbringer F, another 1P, and a Commando 1D. So I think we're going to see a little bit of a same drop. And that's going to happen from a lot of these teams. 4 large lasers coming off the Hellbringer, 2 PPCs, 2 light costs coming from the excuse me, Warhammer, 4 PPCs coming from the Marauder, and 4 PPCs coming from the Annihilator. So peeps versus large lasers with a little peeps coming from Highlander Dragoons. We do see the Kappa 5 being grabbed down, which, honestly, I think that's really good for these long-range mechs because, UAV is being shot at by everybody. I'd love to see that. That was a good thing. We do see the Kappa flag going out. We do see an easy Epsilon flag being grabbed up by one of the quick mechs, the Vulcan 5T, actually grabbing it. So right now, Highland Dragons is in a 3-cap lead. Not by any huge margins, and the Epsilon could easily be recapped. But let's see what the position comes out of this. So we do see along the Pickle Ridge, the PPCs and a little bit of large lasers coming out. Not Bob being sent back. Unfortunately, losing their bolt-ons. Hopefully those weren't there for good luck because those are gone. Tech Drive, though, drop it down to 88%, with Outlaw Hunter dropping down to 76%. That Warhammer 2C taking a brunt of attacks, moving out just in time before that strike is able to get, got 3% hit on it, actually. Yikes. Now, not to be too disappointed, if you look way over to the Firestarter pilot by Red Smith versus the Commando 4A, 4F, 5441. That's probably the only time I'm going to say it for this stream. And Belleron, actually a 2v1 situation. That Commando, or that Firestarter, not in a great spot, not opened up yet on any of the armor, but unlikely to disengage fully, losing their left leg armor to dropping down to 67%. Trying to put some good shots into the Commando. The Commando cored out more, or close to being cored out, but unfortunately that's all they're able to pull out. There goes the leg for the Firestarter. Right leg about to be folded in 3, 2, 1. And there we have it as that mech goes down as well. A light mech game picked up this early is not ideal, but with Highlander Dragoons, getting their 3-cap lead, at least they've done a little bit of work with the light mechs, and this map is not that big for it. It's big enough, to justify like a lot of good range drops. We do see Sir Epic Boner do indeed take that graveyard position using their large lasers to hopefully great effect. A missed airstrike. Yep, it's going to be a missed airstrike, unfortunately. But it does zone out the Annihilator, so it's not able to get shots on Zul the Bernard or not Bob with their long-range mechs. Legend of Kelda trying to put out with Kokori against the onslaught that is Tech Drive Truck and Shaman and Outlaw Hunter with their PPCs, large laser builds. Again, percentile chance, Aces Wild are coming up on this. They're the ones that's doing pretty good. They're at least winning some of the trades so far. They might not have the cap lead, but it looks like they're about to get their 3-cap lead right now with Epsilon finally being taken by them. Not to be disappointed though, where they are trying to put some shots onto it. A strike coming out a second too late as the Belleron with the Firestar was able to cap it. Again, the Annihilator Seraphic Punter trying to put the long range shots with it, with the PPCs flying in at them, actually hitting the top of them. Left arm ready to go, but again, they probably won't need it too much compared to the rest of their onslaught. Again, ooh, tough shots coming out. Outlaw Hunter taking all the damage in their Warhammer, dropping down to 64%, the lowest mech on Highlander Dragoons. So it looks like to me, Highlander Dragoons, they came up with the right idea. Same with Aces Wild, but Aces Wild is putting in the work, securing the cap lead, being okay with losing in the beginning, and then just trying to outflank and outposition, trying to keep pushing and keep the enemy mechs of Highlander Dragoons, guessing at bay. Jormunder taking a nasty artillery strike, dropping down to 68%. I think that was about 10% there. That was nice. The left arm ready to go, but just a casual shoot arm, no big deal. I do think that Highlander Dragons is able to bring this back. They are still somewhat in the point lead. Looks like Succubus realizing this is going to go for a theta push. They might even be able to secure it because while there is a mech kind of looking at them, they are seeing some good support from Longbutter and the Grasshopper trying to keep Legend of Kelda and Kokori, the Warhammer, down and about. But they do flip it, so now it's just a 2-cap versus 2-cap lead, not trying to worry about it. And the reason why is because that command is being pulled off to help Seraphic Boner. Seraphic Boner do indeed getting pushed off. Looks like Legend of Kelda was able to win the trade warfare against Outlaw Hunter, but Seraphic Boner about to be the next mech to go down, being swarmed by this wolf pack. The Commando Succubus is finally here, but unfortunately it's a little too late to actually provide too much assistance. That Firestarter is almost out of position though, as its right leg is ready to pop. Can the Vulcan and the Commando at least steal that mech and actually try to at least even it out a little bit? A beautiful PPC shot coming in Zul. That Belleron though, both left and right leg are ready to go. That Commando not wanting to be given up on it. Wants those legs, wants to avenge Seraphic Boner, and what a hero they are as they go for it again and again. But we have to pay attention as we see that the Roughneck has indeed pushed Zola Bernier, little PPC Annihilator versus a Roughneck large lasers. Looks like they are indeed going for a cockpit shot and actually getting the hits for it. The Annihilator about to lose its cockpit. Will they be able to get it? Nope. Embark's not able to get it. Will Shaman be able to get it? Unfortunately, Zola Bernier is doing their best to torso twist that cockpit as best as they can. They do take out Shaman before too late. Longbutter putting some shots at the Commando. Unfortunately, Commandos are difficult to kill. The Firestar is still alive, but losing its leg. The Commando is still trying to take it out as well. Fine, Longbutter, as we probably saw it coming. Does indeed get taken out. Succubus also getting taken down. Oh, excuse me. Succubus taking down Belleron. Legend of Kelda able to take Tech Drive Truck. That was one of the last mechs available from the long range gambit from Highlander Dragoon. Succubus being the last one alive. And even though they are in a slight lead point advantage, they are legged. They are being attacked by another Commando who is just a tad bit fresher with a Vulcan 5T trying to put some trace fire to help out with it. And there goes Succubus doing what they can in the Commando. But Aces Wild managed to win the fight with the point lead, not enough to make a decision. GGs are coming out, and we're going to see Aces Wild taking the third win out of this entire drop. And what a match to see. All right, taking a look at the damage real quick. We do see beautiful damage coming out from both teams. 571 damage coming from Legend of Kelda, bringing in the Hellbringer with those PPCs. We do see that out of Highlander Dragoons, we do see a 365, a 435, a 528 coming from Epic Boner. That Graveyard Annihilator doing the work, doing the damage, and my goodness, it paid off. Unfortunately, not enough against the Onslaught. That is Aces Wild. GG, everyone. All right, like I said, that is indeed the final match. I'm not sure how much of we're gonna have a question Q&A or anything like that. It's more likely it might just phase off to where we actually see both teams just say GG's, salute each other, and end the night. We'll have to kind of play it by ear and see what happens to it. But honestly, great matches, great teamwork, and again, what an amazing side to have. Once again, everybody, thank you very much for being a part of this. I hope that you did enjoy the matches. I hope you do enjoy seeing the excitement that comes in from the MWO leagues. They do put up a lot of great work, and they did pick up me. So obviously, Untown is throwing themselves into it because they want to be a part of the fun and fun of the festivities. And MWO leagues, I mean, they just have where it's at, Looks like we could do a chat, which I have to remember to myself that sometimes my interview questions go way too long because I just want to get all the info. But sometimes we don't have the time. You guys came to see Mex blow up. You didn't came to see us all chit-chat and drab for too long. So we'll make this quick and simple. And there we have it. Hey, guys, what's up?
What's
Hey.
cracking? How y'all doing?
Oh, that was some interesting matches. Both
Yeah. The
guys
good
were
thing
pretty.
HPG is getting reworked because I don't want to see it
Yeah,
ever again.
yeah. I was
Wait,
gonna
wait. If it,
say, go ahead, go
oh, go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, I was gonna say if it's getting reworked, we're actually gonna have to come up with a strategy that's different than what we've done for the past 4 years.
I was to say I didn't call it out who exactly was going to do it, but I did call out there were some of the strats, and thankfully maybe I've been playing against Ace as well too much because I did call out some of your strats. It's like I wonder if this team, not knowing which team's going to be, is going to do this kind of strat. And sure enough, I was like, ah, look at that. All
Got
right.
him.
So real quick, guys, we're gonna make this short and simple because I know you have a lot of energy. You probably still want to go play some more MWO because how could you stop playing this beautiful game? But I just want to do an easy thank you both for asking for me to cast, and thank you again, Ash, for coming to save the day when all the technical issues weren't quite working out the way I wanted. I unfortunately will be a PowerPoint presentation for Mighty Collective. The excitement and energy is there, but the
Woo!
slideshow is also there. So we'll revisit that. Again,
Yeah,
apologies for that one. We just
All
learned a
good.
couple of things as well. So
absolutely. Hey, real quick on that HPG one, do you happen to save it locally, maybe? Because I think that your frame counter was good that we saw from the slideshow. But if you save it locally, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's just like a technical thing going there funky. So if you have that, maybe we can watch it in all of its glory.
yes, I
I
can
don't
say
know.
I will. I have to investigate it. I definitely did it off of MW League, so they might have more info on that one right off the bat. But maybe I can figure it out on my end. I definitely feel like there's gonna be a little power after this. But
Oh yeah,
we'll touch upon that. I'll definitely hit up with Ash. I'm sure he's got some good feedback for me, anyways. We just wanted to kind of give you guys a few questions, give you a moment to speak your piece, and talk about the greatness that is both Aces Wild and Highlander Dragons because you both deserve that full heartedly. Thanks again for launching out the championship. How you guys feeling today? You feeling good?
Pretty
dude,
good.
fantastic. I love scrimming against these guys. They're always good team, always good fights, always a great time. Good people, good partnership, and good shots.
Thank you very much. Same here. We like
Oh,
scrimming
easy
against y'all.
compliments. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Go right ahead.
No, I was just saying, same. Like we like scrimming against aces as well. We'll take any opportunity we can. Good
Heck
group of
yeah.
guys.
No, you guys definitely made these matches great. Obviously, we saw a lot of different gambits from like long cap games to like we're gonna chill in the basement and have a casual conversation. Good old World War One style with like holiday season, trying to actually greet each other over the battlefield. Beautiful stuff. Like really was memorable. But I will say, with a lot of these matches and go like just a general question to both teams. We'll start off with Highlander Dragons. Did the matches go how you expected, or did Aces Wild keep you surprised?
Say, whoop, my mic's not going. I want to say mostly how expected. Yeah. HPG, we probably should have seen that coming. We've seen aces do that type of thing before. We were just trying something a little different, and obviously it didn't work out. So we got something to work on. And then they did rush us a little more often than we might have been expecting. Like on Tourmaline, the long rush, which did pay off in the end. We probably should have backed off a bit faster, but I guess when you see that coming, you got to make a move sooner. But yeah, other than that, yeah, pretty much how I expected, I guess.
I was gonna say, coming off from last year's championship, where Highlander Dragons kind of gave you a run for your money, Ace as well. Did you have a lot of that passion coming into this one, to see if you can at least do a little bit of one up on them?
Oh man, we always have passion, all the
Oh,
time, always high energy. And there wasn't so much as a chip on our shoulder per se, as in we know these guys, we know they're good shots. Let's see what they bring to the table and see if we can adapt in time. And try a couple new strats with the new really awkward. I'm not a fan of the tourmaline spawns. Seeing how different strategies work on that. On that one particular, we actually, myself and our Firestarter, we dove in a little bit too hard and got ourselves killed a little bit earlier than I think we should have. But it was a good match all around. They got the focus on as they need to, and they used the map size to their advantage. We just didn't have the speed to control the caps, and they got the win on that. But that was a close one, a good one. But yeah, no chip on the shoulder, just good old time, good old scrim partners. So we kind of know what to expect and what level of power to expect, and so we react accordingly. Like, I see you doing that, but do you see us doing the same thing on the other side?
and that's something that I've always learned to expect from both of your teams. I never, when it comes to like a chip to sort of, it's more of like that friendly competition. Like you,
Oh
you
yeah,
want you want to be there. You want to one up each other because that's part of the fun. Like you don't want to just roll over and like, you can have this win. No, it's full on mech versus mech action. You don't have time for that.
oh
So
absolutely.
so again, like obviously you guys are starting off the championship. You got to play around with the map bans. Just out of curiosity for both the teams, what are the two maps you would have probably banned more than likely? What are the two maps you least want to play since we didn't get to showcase that too?
Oh man, super easy for us. We're gonna ban Polar and Tourmaline.
We were
All
actually
right.
gonna ban HPG and I think we were gonna ban Tourmaline, but we might. I mean, actually, we're gonna ban Polar, but now we might ban Tourmaline because I don't think we've still got anything too figured out too well for that map.
Yeah, the spawns on Tourmaline just make it really awkward to get a good strategy because one side has really, really crappy sight lines and really crappy spawns. And then, the two far points on the either tip of the map, it's like, well, I guess they're there. We could send a light for like 3 minutes out there to grab that cap point, or we could just rush them, kind of like we were doing there. And
Yeah.
I'm just not a big fan of those spawns. I think there could be a little bit more work on that, whether you spread them out or just rotate them like another like 30 degrees. Just give a different angle on that. I'm just not a big fan of those spawns, so we're gonna basically ban Tourmaline all the way through. Never gonna have to worry about another strat for that one. And then Polar, it's a little bit new. I haven't figured that one out yet. So depending on how HPG plays out, we'll be either banning the new HPG or the new Polar, just whichever strats we have figured out.
So it sounds like for both teams, it just comes down to familiarity. Like how comfortable
Yeah.
are you playing on the maps? Have you played on it before? And if you are going to play the new map, if you have something you feel like is like a consistent thing, which again, it was nice to see on Polar Hands, both teams going for range drops. It was quite the trade warfare. And I have to applaud a lot of your team members for having the patience that I definitely would not have if I was inside of those pilot seats. So again, beautiful work for both teams. I normally would like to keep this a little bit longer, but we're going to cut it a little short. Is there any last thoughts, Highlander Dragons? Anything you want to say to Aces Wild or to the community that's watching?
Looking forward to see you all in queue. I mean, if you haven't done it before, definitely give it a shot. It's a lot of fun.
Very nice and very sweet and point to the point. I love it. And what about you, not Bob, for Aces Wild?
Basically, I can say statements. Both thank you, Yuntao and Ash, for coming in and streaming this. It's fantastic. Highlander Dragoons, obviously, for willing to step up to the plate, be the first guinea pigs for the exhibition. Wow, words are hard. For the show match, I'll just use that because that's an easier word to say. And also for the general community, dude, comp is where it's at. Go join all the tournaments, go join all the fun, join units that do it. There's lots of units out there of all different skill levels. Div A all the way to like Div Q. Like there's skill everywhere. It's a lot of
Oh
fun.
yeah.
Do it. Do the comp queue. Get some free money in there. Get some experience and a different style of play. It's 100% worth it. Do it.
Truthfully, and I think both teams said it fantastically. There's no reason not to try this out. You got 7 friends besides yourself that would be like, you know what, let's just do this. Worst case scenario, we get to try a different game mode, we get to try a different play style, but more we get to play with more of an experience, like something different. And like that's all most of us from the MW community. I think it's always been the pivotal point. We just want to see different things from time to time. I think that's always what makes us a little happy. And especially when it comes to this, and you get, as not Bob pointed out, you get nothing but rewards. Get into the top 500, everyone gets something. Colors,
Absolutely.
MC, beautiful stuff. You should
And if
try.
you don't, and if you don't have 7 friends, there's literally 5 units being represented in this channel right here. Highlander Dragoons have obviously Cameron Highlanders and Highlander Dragoons. 2 very good units. We have Aces Wild, obviously myself. We have 2D20. We have Imperial, or rather JGX, whatever. Yeah, JGX. Sorry, that's what it is now. So there's plenty of good teams out there that you can join and take a look on. Do it. Just do it. It's fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I was gonna self plug 2D20, but yeah, we'll be there for you. No worries.
I got you.
All right, guys. Well, again, I appreciate you both. You have amazing teams, and it definitely shows every time I watch you play. And even when I run into you quick play, again, viewers, if you see these people in your matches, be thankful they're with you. Be upset they were against you, but either way, give them a salute because they earned it, and they'll give it right back to you. Once again, everyone, this has been the MW League's stream and cast of Aces Wild versus Highlander Dragoons Exhibition Match 1 of the Championship 2021. We're surrounded by great people. We're going to see more great fights, and you're going to see it all on this channel. Like, subscribe, give the love, and happy hunting, mech warriors. Salute.
GG's.
Later.